this is where it all started. Before real estate, before anything, before I was even Justin Torres. I was just learning myself, and I learned myself in this field, right? I fell in love with something, and I didn't want to stop until I uncovered what my potential was. And now look at me. Whew. I'm here now just reminiscing, and it seems like just yesterday I was on this plate. So 2 traits that make me unbeatable. I would have to say number 1, I have an insatiable desire to grow and not stop learning, right? So I feel like with that being said comes discipline. From a younger age, I had this goal of being on the baseball field and being on TV one day. That didn't happen, but I feel like now I've carried that over into my life. And discipline, I feel like right now I carry my family with me when I wake up. And I don't want to stop until I achieve, until it's end game. So I'm going to keep going. Discipline number 1. I guess another trait is just being personable. I feel like loving people. Like I genuinely love connecting with people, whether it be helping them buy a home, whether it be helping them in actual day-to-day endeavors. I feel like being there for someone is really stands out because it's so much more than me. Personally, I'm nothing without anybody else caring for me. There's a lifelong connection, a lifelong relationship that's built with a client, right? And I tell them immediately, I say, hey, listen, I just want to let you know that you're stuck with me for a lifetime. You're stuck with me for 10 years. It's like a contract. I feel like people are fixated on that one sale. When I want my clients, I call them friends at this point. Most of them are family. I want them coming with me for everything, whether it be emotional support, whatever it be, because this is a process that there's always bumps in the road. And I think there's a lot of gray areas that a lot of people don't understand the process. And it's okay not to understand it. But having that right person in your corner that's not there for one deal, it's there for 10 years, 15 years, there for a lifetime. Like I'm able to see my clients' kids grow. These are important things that I feel like that impact me most definitely, because I see little Johnny, oh my gosh, going to high school, I sold him the house. Oh, forget about it. I start getting emotional. Do I have a life model that I've applied to my own life? I would say, there's a quote that really sticks out to me by Zig Ziglar himself. For those of you who don't know, it's a famous salesperson, in the hospitality industry and anywhere. He's just a life coach. And he mentioned the importance of having goals, right? He basically said, and I quote, show me a man without a goal and I'll show you a stock clerk. However, show me a stock clerk with the goal and I'll show you a man who's willing to make history. So that stuck out to me, and I have it everywhere, right? Because I want people to remember my last name. And it's not generational. If it's not generational, it doesn't really stick out to me. So I'm here to change generations. It's more than me. I think right now, this is an unfortunate time for the masses, right? And I think being able to see that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, right? I was blessed with the opportunity to sell 20 plus homes during a global pandemic. And this was because I woke up with my goal in front of me at all times. My goal was my family. It's deeper than me. Personally, me closing a couple of homes, working with clients, it really doesn't mean much to me, but if I'm able to help others, then that's the gold mine itself. So I feel like right now I woke up with a desire to help my family. How can I better them? How can I better their life? And how can I change and break a cycle? Because I feel like in the Latin community itself, it's unfortunate how people don't see, they don't think it's possible to succeed. And it goes, people continue a cycle that hurts generations. So I was blessed with an opportunity to learn from people who have succeeded. And I said, hey, listen, there's an opportunity and it's possible. Like, it's okay. You didn't go to college, but it's still possible for you to succeed. I think starting over is it's the most fearful process. And I think it's okay to be fearful. Like, especially during a time where right now, most people, I mean, they've lost their job. So when I started off, first and foremost, I never worked. My job was baseball. So I had this desire to give it my all. And I'm not gonna stop until I'm on TV. And then when that was all over, I had to reinvent the wheel, which is a lot of people in America now. It's okay to reinvent the wheel, as long as you give it your all and you enjoy it. Right now, I found that I enjoy the process of hospitality. From step one, getting to know someone, connecting with someone on a deeper level, because sometimes it's so surface. And once I found that willingness to connect with others, it boomed from there, right? I realized, I dove into an industry that I'm able to connect in someone's biggest investment in their lifetime. This is a 30-year investment that you'll never forget. So I was able to really push fear aside. I mean, it was tough waking up not knowing, hey, listen, quite frankly, I don't have a degree. I can never back out on the degree. So it was tough knowing that, hey, this may go nowhere, but I'm going to make something happen. Whether this goes nowhere and there's another outlet that extends itself, there's always opportunity. You have to be looking at them. And if you close your lens, you'll never see the opportunity that life will present. So something I would like to tell someone who needs to reinvent the wheel is really, listen, right now is the time to do so, right? But forget about that. I think being comfortable with being uncomfortable is the number one thing that someone mentioned to me, I would say a year back, and it stuck out to me. I mean, I wake up every day and I'm like, do I feel uncomfortable now? Because if I do, it's okay, right? There are times where you feel unsteady, you feel, whether you be sick, whether you feel like you're sweating, because I'm talking to someone who is extremely successful. I get very nervous, but it's okay to do so, because everyone was there at one point. Whether it makes you better, it makes you the person you are, and it's only going to help you blossom from there. As I look at New York, I instantly think of some negative experiences that have impacted my life, and I feel like everyone goes through it, and quite frankly, it's okay to talk about it, right? I think there was a transition period coming from New York, right, and heading over to Jersey, where I really didn't see. I didn't see the opportunity of amounting to much, right? I stuck on to baseball because I felt like that was my only outlet. However, I had a great supporting cast around me who was able to really program my mind and highlight certain strong points that I didn't even see in myself. So I think it's okay to highlight negatives you have. I mean, a big changing point in my life entirely was, I would say, hey, listen, I would say leaving your biggest dream, not knowing where it would end up. So I knew nothing but baseball. And growing up from 5 to 18, I knew nothing, but I studied. I dreamt baseball. So I didn't know what other outlet I was going to go. And I feel like that was an impact to the utmost degree, because quite frankly, I didn't think it was possible. And now being closer to that light, I see, wow, it's possible. Yeah, I feel like there is a certain zone in athletics in general that has impacted my real estate career entirely, right? Everyone's dream, you wake up, everyone's dream is to be, whether it be MLB, NFL, NBA, it's to be in professional sports. And that was most definitely my dream, but you have to channel a certain energy, because you have to realize that everyone in America wants to do that. So, and because of that, there's a ton of competition. So with that being said, everything I did revolved around baseball. Whether it be grabbing a sock and throwing it up in the air and see how far I could hit it. It was absolutely everything. And I feel like translating that into the real world is dangerous, right? Don't give up, right? If you could use that same energy and channel that and go elsewhere, oh man, the future's yours. For the everyday person, it may not be baseball, it may not be professional sports, but it's the importance of channeling your inner child? How can you channel your younger self where joy was the only thing you focused on? Right? Because in your day-to-day career, realize that you spend more time working than you spend with your loved ones. So if I spend more time working for my loved ones, how can I live a joyful life? How can I see the glass half full? And how can I bring that same positive energy and that optimism home as well? Because without work, who's gonna pay the bills, right? So quite frankly, we understand the importance of work, and it's time for you to enjoy work.